All right, there's Weston.
Can you hear me?
I got you, buddy.
Why didn't you say what's up back?
I think because I had my computer on mute.
Well, I said what's up.
What's up, man? We are here with Weston McKennie, and we will get straight to your questions. And we will start with Leander Sherlockins.
Hi, Weston. How are you? Thanks for doing this. What do you remember about your time at Bradenton with Tyler and Christian, and how do you think it shaped this team on your journey now to Qatar?
I mean, I'm sure many of you guys know Christian didn't spend that much time there because he moved to Germany, obviously. Tyler, my memories are maybe not as beautiful as you guys think they are. Tyler was always called in place of me to go on trips. So, but we always had a great bond between all of us. And I think we all, at that time, didn't know that the future and where we are now would be where we are. We talk about it all the time now as well, just thinking back, like I got cut from residency and Tyler was called in every once in a while. Christian was doing his thing over in Germany. So it's like we all had kind of three different paths, but all in the same mission at the same time. So it's pretty amazing to see where we're at now and the bond that we've built so far.
Next will be Ryan Talmadge from goal.com.
Hey, Weston, how's it going, man?
Good, you?
Good. Greg also said what's up before he left, by the way, if we're continuing with the what's up part. But just Tyler was talking the other day about how even though you weren't with the team, like you were constantly in communication, how you were FaceTiming them before games and staying in with those guys. And obviously that's something that's part of this group is the friendship and the staying together. So I just kind of wanted to know what today was like for you guys as you all kind of watched from wherever you were and figured out what this next step was. Was it FaceTimes? Was it group chats? How did you guys kind of enjoy this experience and kind of enjoy it together?
No, I mean, we have a group chat of, with the U.S. national team and practically every player is in it, whether they're there now or have been in it before. And I think, we're just all excited. We're all looking forward to it. We're all, know it's going to be a challenge, but that's something that we've always, embraced. And that's something that we've always, been able to do is face diversity. So the thing is that we're just looking forward to being in camp together again before the World Cup starts. Obviously, it's going to be a short time period, but I think it's something that all the guys are up for a challenge and we're ready to face.
Next will be Grant Wall.
Hey, Wes, it's good to see you. What are your thoughts about the two specific opponents that you know here, England and Iran?
Repeat that again, sorry.
So what are your thoughts on the two specific opponents that you know of in your group now, England and Iran?
I mean, I think everyone really knows a lot about England and what they have to offer and their roster and the players that they have and the caliber of them. I mean, we all know what we're up against and we all are pretty familiar. Some players play with them in England. Some players play against them in England. Some play against them someplace else. So we kind of are familiar in terms of, what our opponents are going to look like. And as far as Iran, we don't know much about them. We don't know many players and we've never played them. At least I've never played them. So it's definitely going to be interesting because those are the tricky games in tournaments like this where, you have a team that you're playing for the first time. It can be a beneficial thing as well because they haven't played against you. They don't know, the players' tendencies. They don't know what everyone is like in person and live. So I think it's going to be interesting. I think, it's something that the coaching staff and the players are going to have to sit down before and then do a lot of research on and gather information as much as we can before going into that game. So that's it's all about being prepared.
Next will be Jeff Carlisle.
Thanks, Michael. Hello, Weston. I saw your interview with Fox Sports where you said you thought you'd be back by the end of April. I was wondering if you could define being back for me. Is that back playing games? Is that just back to full training? And also, do you anticipate taking part in the Nations League?
I think for me, when I, speak in terms of being back in April, in my head, I would assume that would be back playing, or at least minimum training fully with the squad. And that's a goal that I've set for myself. Obviously, there's many factors and many things that go into play here, and many things that, you have to overcome still. But that's my goal right now. And from what I've seen and how I've been progressing, it seems pretty realistic. So if that's the case, the ideal, journey for me right now would to be back by April, play a couple of games with Juventus before the season ends, and then, jump and fly straight over to Nations League.
Next will be Paul Tenorio.
Thanks, Michael. Hey, Wes. Hey. You talked about the familiarity with these England national team players, and when Greg first took over, he talked about changing the perception of this U.S. men's national team in the world, but also in this country. You guys individually that are playing at big clubs, you have started to do that, of how people think about American soccer players. But this will be a massive stage at the World Cup against a team that a lot of American soccer fans will know the players from the Premier League. Do you look at it as an opportunity to influence the way people think about how much the game has grown here in the U.S.?
I think there's multiple benefits of playing this a game against England, especially just because it's like you said, it's the biggest stage in soccer that you can have, and to play them in a World Cup and to be playing against players that people know, and it's something that you can take a step forward in your player growth and making yourself more known, and also just making the team more respected, more looked at, more believed in, I think, and that's the goal that Greg set out to accomplish when he took over. And that's something that's always reiterated whenever we go into camp is change the way the world views American soccer. And I think there's no better place and no better time to be able to do that.
We'll go to Sanjay.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks, Wes. Wes, to go off Paul's question about the England game, the timing of it's interesting, right? So you grew up in Texas. You talked about how you could have been a football player, and Dallas is obviously known for the Cowboys Thanksgiving tradition. You guys are playing England the day after Thanksgiving, on Black Friday. Could you talk about how cool you think that is and what it means for the visibility of the game? Going off that last question. Thank you.
I think it's kind of a bit similar of what I said for the last question. It's definitely going to be one that's going to catch a lot of people's eyes. It's definitely going to be a game that people are going to watch. And I think it's a great opportunity for just the federation and us as players, and, just to be able to go out there and play against such a big historic team that is obviously, it's not a secret that they're one of the favorites to win it. So I think we're definitely looking forward to that, and we're definitely, have the desire to go out there and show that, we're not afraid. We don't, belittle ourselves just because we're playing against England. So I think you'll definitely be able to see, some other sides of players maybe as well. There's going to be a lot asked from everyone that's involved in that game. So I think it's something that will be a good show for everyone to watch, and a good game for us to play.
We'll go to Claudio Villalobos.
Thank you, Michael. Wes, I'm curious about the fact that, like you said, there's a lot of stuff that you already know about England because of many, many reasons besides playing there. What's more difficult for you guys as players and even the whole team to face, even with the quality of players that England is going to bring to the World Cup, facing England or unknown teams like Iran or perhaps Ukraine, Scotland, who knows, Wales. Is it different? Is it more difficult when you don't know that much about the team?
I can only speak from personal experiences. As an individual player, for me, I like it whenever I play against players that I don't know and they don't know me, just because I feel like I have an upper hand on it. In the sense of, they don't know my tendencies, they don't know my abilities. If you look at me and you don't see video or nothing, you're not going to mark me on a corner. You're going to leave me alone. So it's a double-edged sword. It's one of those things that can play out in your benefit, and it can also not play on your benefit, because you also don't know their tendencies. You don't know how they play. You don't know which players have speed, which players are good one-on-one, which has a long shot. So it's kind of like you say, we play against England. If you don't know the team personally, you know them by playing with them on FIFA or something. So it's definitely something that can work out in our benefit, and it's something that could also not. So I think we're ready for it, and we'll definitely take advantage of the obstacles that we have and the opportunities we have in those games.
All right, we have Christian Pulisic standing by. So thanks, Wes. Good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you too. See you guys. Team.